Dude, I am like overjoyed to hear all the positive feedback I got on the 63 things to do video. I was like petrified that people were just gonna leave negative comments on that video saying like, oh, like all there is to do in this game is shiny hunting and money making. Shake my head, there's nothing to do. I tried so hard to like create a diverse like list. I tried so hard on that because I really didn't want that critique to happen, which is why I grouped shunting into like ×3 and ×5 got their own number, and then single and fishing, and then like egg hunts and other rares. I only dedicated 3 spots to shunting, which in my opinion is very little when there's so much difference to those different kind of hunts, and very like a huge difference in severity and difficulty and everything. So I tried really, really hard to make a really interesting, diverse list that people couldn't criticize. I think it's like, that's my goal with a lot of my YouTube comments, or a lot of my YouTube content, sorry. If my content, the way that I think about it is if the only comments I get on my content are really like silly questions, and what I mean by silly questions is like questions that I literally answer in the video, that's a good sign to me, right? If I make my legendaries video and people say stuff like, oh, the way to solve legendaries is to just ban them in PvP, forehead, that would solve everything. Whereas in the video, I explained like why there's multiple other issues why that still wouldn't work, the social aspect, the PVM aspect, the balancing, the cheesiness of it, the non-special feeling of new players don't have Vermilion City, etc., etc. Like, if people only leave not good arguments or not good questions on my videos, that's actually a good thing, because that means that I answered everything. It means I didn't leave any space for good questions to be asked, which hopefully means I answered everything. Now, obviously, there's a lot of different ways you could go with that. I have to like go back and really critique and go through each thing specifically. But if no good questions are being asked, it's almost like, oh, I didn't forget something. It's almost like when someone leaves a good question, like if I like made like for example, if I made a rare shunting guide and someone asked me, oh, hey, like, loved your video, but I was curious, is whether a Pokemon is shiny or not decided upon egg creation or egg hatch? That's a really good question. And I have to be like, oh, fuck, I forgot to say that. Like, if someone asks a good question, it means I forgot something. It means I messed up. But if someone asked a question that I literally answered in the video, or kind of like a silly question, then it's like, man, I did pretty good, or hopefully, right? That's the hopeful thing, or I just totally missed the mark and didn't communicate clearly at all, which is far in the other direction. Hopefully that's not the case, but it's possible as well.